Hello, guys. Good evening. Yes, Gaurav. Actually, it was implemented the day you told me. I thought like this is crazy idea and it must be very helpful for the people. So I just added that feature, started working on that immediately, and made it possible. All thanks to you. Just let me. I guess I'm audible because you just said good evening. Gaurav, please confirm once, like if you can hear me. I'm excited to Raghu. Thank you for joining. Great. So let me first set the problem statement. So what happened? Okay, I guess someone says like just wait for a couple of minutes. More people will join. Anyone from the morning batch? Like today, we have started the training on XPath, selectors, and lots of good stuff. So I'm sure people are enjoying and having learning a lot of new things, which was never been trained or taught. So definitely those things will help a lot people. And I'm sure like 4.0, whatever you guys have been using from the day of launch, must be helping a lot for you. Yeah. Okay. So let's just start with the problem statement and what this new feature is going to do, and what is this revolutionary thing which is going to change and going to solve a big time problem actually. Because yes, we have solved the locators and selectors problem, but what happens like many times, uh, like we see that for a selector, you will find a matching node in selectors or in dev tools or wherever you are looking at. XPath is working, but what happens like when you use it in your automation script, you start getting an error like uh, element is not interactable. So when that happen, and why we have to waste so much time like picking the XPath here, then using it in our script, and then the script is failing. So let me so can something like help us with upfront that this will break if you will use it in your automation script. So let me show you like where all it used to happen, and how it happened, and then how we start tracking this problem, and why we solve this problem, and why we are saying that this is a very very tough problem, and like a lot of time we have wasted around this one. So on this website, suppose we have to locate some element, this Libri logo. And if you guys are not aware about this Libri books, this is none other than by our own teapot. Those who are from test chat, they must be aware about this. So guys, do check out this app. It is available on Google Play and App Store. This is by our own teapot, the enabler of one of the enabler of the test chat community. And if you haven't joined the test chat community, please do join. You will learn a lot of things from the great people, from the expert, direct from the expert of the industry. Okay, so suppose we have to click on this element. Okay, so you see that this is image a. Sometimes what happen like we click on this element, and we feel like this is also like button is also there nearby, and if you want to click on somewhere here, that this button is there. Okay, and if you open selectors up as well, so you will see that it is showing you the X path like this one. X path selectors, and which is like pretty much correct X path for this. Like if you copy this X path and paste it here, verify this one, so you will see that one element matching it is showing. Okay, so we will use this X path in our script. I hope my screen is shared and everything is visible and audible. Cool. So this X path is one matching node it is showing, and now we will use this X path, copy this X path, and we will use it in our script here. So this is the X path, okay, and we'll save it and we'll execute this script. So as per our understanding, and as it is showing the one element matching node here, this should work in our script, right? If we open this website and this is a button and this is showing one element matching, so this X path should work. I'm sure like you all will agree on this point. And this is how like we in industry we used to do, and many times we face these challenges. So let's execute this. So you see that this got executed, but script got failed here. And what could be the reason? Let's see. You see the exception here in thread main element not interactable exception, element not interactable, which means that there is some issue like when we are using this X path, but it is like difficult for an fresher, or in fact like for expert as well, sometimes those who are not aware about like why this exception is there, so it becomes like really difficult to understand, like because you will be scratching your head that X path is matching, dom node is there, one element is matching, but still it is failing. So it becomes like really difficult to understand that what is the issue, why it is failing. And if you know that why it is failing, that exception, on that front you have wasted a quite enough amount of time, like while writing the X path, then executing your script, and then you got to know that there is an issue with this like with this element, you cannot, it is not interactable through automation. So one is that if you are not aware about the exception, you will waste too much time around this. Second, if you are aware about this exception, then also you will waste a lot of time. Like until unless you will not execute the script, you might not get to know that okay, this is not this will not work. So how can we resolve this? Like, is there anything which can tell us upfront that there will be an issue? And if there is an issue, what is that issue with this element? So let me tell you guys that this element is not visible in the UI. Like if you hover on this in the DOM, whichever element you will hover, you will see that it will highlight here in the UI, web UI. So whichever element you see that some has some width and height, offset width and height, basically like some area which is like through with which or on which Selenium or any automation framework can interact. That only those are the elements to whom an automation framework or an automation API can interact with their functions. But here, if you see that button, when you hover on button, there is nothing on the UI for which you can interact. And if I show you on console here, like you do $0 and then offset height, you will see that this is showing zero. Or if you so do that offset width, then also it is zero. So this is the region that this will your automation will break for this element. But nobody is going to do that. Like are you going to check that for each and every element in the console that $0 offset height width? No, nobody is going to do that, and nobody do that. And we want something like which can tell us upfront that if you will use XPath for this element, if you will write automation for this element, this DOM node, then your automation script will break, and for what reason it will break. So now selector sub will going to help you with this. Like if you have inspected any element, selectors have generally used to give all the information for that particular element. And now if you will inspect this kind of element which is not interactable, selector sub will tell you upfront. You inspect this, selector sub is giving you the alert here this element is not interactable through Selenium automation as it is not visible in UI. So now you got to know like directly here itself that this element is not visible in the UI. So you will get the exception if you will use this one. So use any nearby element, try any nearby element. So you are aware that, okay, this button is not going to work. Let me try for the anchor tag or image tag. So that you will try, or this div, anything you can try to perform the action. So this is going to really really help you guys a lot. And how we got this idea, and like what happens, what we were doing. So Gaurav was doing some testing and he was writing some code. So what happened, like what he was trying, like he was trying to click on all these social media links on selectors of website. So here if you see that and pretty much everyone will do the same thing what he did and I tried. You see that here, span, this span button. So like this looks very much stable and correct x path when you have the text like thing. So always, like most of us, I believe like everyone will use this x path for this element here. And it has the text Twitter. For LinkedIn it has LinkedIn, for Facebook it has Facebook. So we will think like, yes, this will work, and here it is showing one matching node as well, so it should work, right? But if you see this, if you hover, nothing is highlighting in the UI as well, and it is not visible in the UI. Like if you will use this XPath, again you will get the this element is not interactable, and that exception you will get. But if you click on this element and you see that this element is highlighting here in the UI, so you know that this will work, but this will not work. For this one, it will immediately show you that this element is not interactable. So you will be aware that this XPath is, this element is not interactable. So I should not write automation for this element, this kind of element. Now for which all element, because it's like it is not possible at all, like in any training can anyone teach this thing, like by inspecting each and every element of the DOM, nobody can teach. And we, I mean, no one has that much time also, time because there is a time constraint in every training and videos. So it's really difficult to teach this, that this element is interactable, this element is interactable or not, this one is interactable or not. So selectors hub is going to help you guys on your runtime, in your live projects, in your real-time projects when you will be working. So now if you start inspecting here from the, let's say from the top, so you will get to know from selectors hub whether the element is interactable or not. HTML, yes, because this is complete web page. If you click on head, no, this is not interactable. So this you will get the error. Body, yes, it is. Div, yes, if this div is available in the UI, if it is visible, if it has the area, some area. So this div has. On the other side, not every div has the area. Let me show you here. And guys, if you have any question, feel free to put it into the chat section. I will take all those. So here you see that I'm just showing across examples here. So you see that this div doesn't have any area. So if you will, like, okay, this has, let me try this. There was some divs. Yeah, this style doesn't have any viewable area, so it will not show. Yeah, this div. So this div doesn't have any area here, like in the UI. So you see that it is not interactable. So it is showing that. And whenever you get any doubt, like, so you can do it in console, like dollar offset height and width. If it is 0 or 1, less than 2, basically that doesn't exist actually. So for that, you will see it will show you the alert, and you will understand that, okay, this doesn't have any viewable area in UI, and that is the region it is breaking. So this is really really going to help you a lot and will save a lot of time. For more, like when you inspect any element also, this will highlight that this is comment, so that you will learn. If anything which is not visible, you just keep on clicking if you want to learn about these things, that what is interactable, what is not interactable. So you see that this header here, but you see where in the UI it is highlighting on the top right top left corner, just like it is showing that there is a header tag, but it doesn't have any area, like viewable area or actionable area. So that is the reason that you should not be using XPath, or you should not be using this element in your automation. If you will use, you will get the exception. And likewise, like you, if you just keep inspecting the element, if you want to learn more about it, like which is interactable. And this is the very frequently asked question in some of the very good companies. In fact, like very good companies, it is being asked, like they just show you the DOM and they will ask you like why it is not working, though it is what they will do, like they will show you that here something like this, that this X path is there, it is showing one matching node. Like this they will do, this X path is working. And they will also show you the script as well, that but when we are executing the script it is failing, what could be the reason. And it becomes like really difficult for someone to tell that why it is breaking, why that non-interactable error is coming, exception is coming in when we are executing the script. Though this is one element matching, DOM is available, it is not also disappearing as well, like when you hover or something, dynamic drop down or dynamic element. So this is pretty much stable element. This is available in the DOM all the time. It is also finding one element matching, but we cannot use it in Selenium, but we cannot use it in automation, like any automation framework, not just Selenium. So this is the reason that we cannot use it. And this is how you will learn from SelectorsHub about such kind of things. And you would be easily able to answer in your interview questions as well. So you just try to like inspect any of these element and it will tell you upfront. Before I show you guys more, let me take some of your questions. I'm sure like there must be some good things, good questions. And all thanks to Gaurav Khurana. Gaurav Khurana, he's there on the chat section, you can see, and you guys can thank him because he suggested this feature and he initiated like few days back, and we just did it. This is really nice and learn a new thing, and tool can help us save a lot of time. Yes, definitely. Can you tell us which version of SelectorsHub is supporting this feature? Currently, I'm using 4.0.6, 4.0.7 onwards. This feature is available. So you just you can. It is already live in browser store. So Chrome, Edge, Opera. It is this feature is available. So 4.0.7 onwards, this feature is available. So you can just update it, and you will get it. And how you can update it is very simple. Let me just show you. I've already created the tutorial as well, how you can update it. Like you just right click on this manage extension, and under extension page, here you will have this update. Click on this update and it will automatically update. Total how many exceptions are covered? One, not interactable. Yes, so currently like not interactable, not, or if display is none, like CSS property none is set for any element, then also it will let you know that this is not visible. So except from the exception point of view, not interactable. From the like what all properties can be there in the element, so those are like area, display property, which is if it is none, so those are the properties used for letting know that this element is not interactable. Thank you. And yes, Gaurav, like definitely we will add more exceptions as well. But yeah, this is like very trivial and a very much required exception, because this is the one which we can tell people, which we can let everyone know from upfront while interacting with the DOM elements and the XPath or selectors. Because the main reason for this exception is that the uh, like it is very confusing actually. Like element is available, stable it is, XPath is showing one matching node, but still it is throwing the exception. And it becomes really really hard for people to understand why they are getting this exception. And many times many people are not able to resolve this issue, like because it is like everything is available, but still it is throwing the exception, so hard to figure it out like why it is breaking. Any more questions, guys? Great. So there are few more features has been added and in this release. And if you want to learn, guys, more about such kind of concepts related to DOM, related to web elements. So because it's not easy to because what happens like many a times we learn lot of things, like we learn automation, we learn writing a Selenium automation script, and we start with that. And most of the time what we do, like we think that we have started, we are able to open the browser, we are able to click here, we are able to enter the value here, and we think that we know the automation. But actually, believe me, like except automation starts from where you if you have the good knowledge of DOM web elements, because that is the most important part. No matter how good your automation script you are writing, you are writing, no matter how good logic you have written, until unless your selector, your XPath will not be correct, will not be stable, doesn't matter how good oops concept you have used, how good for loop you have used, nothing will work if your XPath and locators are not stable for web automation. So this is the really, really important concept and really important thing in web automation. And in fact, like whole industry believe in that, yes, the locators are the most important part in Selenium or in any kind of web automation. Like I have done a lot of polls as well, where people accept that yes, the this is one of the most important part. Like if you see this poll, one of the biggest reason that we fail to write the stable automation script to lack is lack of locators, web elements, and DOM knowledge. More than 72%, more than 70% people accept this. Yes, this is the most this is one of the biggest reason that we are not able to write. Because what happens, like we know, okay, we can interact with this element, we can interact with this element, we can like enter value here, okay. But whenever there are some different kinds of elements comes, like shadow DOM comes, this kind of like non-interactable elements comes, we are not able to handle those kind of situations. So for that reason, I have started taking the training as well, guys, to help everyone to learn these kind of concepts. Because I might be aware a lot more concepts about DOM web elements, because I used to work on these tools. So in place of creating, because I have created multiple videos here and there, and people are like not able to get uh, the complete knowledge about these things because of scattered videos. So I have started this training program here, where like I'm going to teach all these concepts related to web elements, DOM, shadow DOM, SVG, iframes, and these kind of exception and different concepts, a lot more concepts deep in about web elements, DOM, so that like you can be expert in automation, you can be expert in writing Selenium script, automation script, because this is the most important part. In fact, like 90% of the time script break because of locators and XPath issue. So to make everyone expert and get to know all the concepts related to XPath and selectors, I have started this training program. Here I have created different batches as well. So you guys can take as per your availability, as per your time zone, different time for different time zone. I have created the batch. One batch is already started, so registration for that is already closed. You can register for any of these batches, and early birds tickets are also available, so you can take this one. I also used to take the corporate training, so if anyone of you want me to take the exclusive training for your company or your colleagues, for your company only, so you can connect with me. So yeah, this will really help you guys a lot. And let me just now show you more about like more concepts which you will see, and more features which are coming in Selectors Hub now. So this was like one non-interactable element we have seen earlier. You see you know that like when you inspect any element which is SVG element, so you used to get that this is an SVG element here in the like small box. But many a times, like, but just by getting this information here, like this is SVG, and then seeing the locators here, many people were not able to learn this concept that SVG doesn't support the standard XPath format. And they also didn't notice that okay, this is something special, because just SVG element written, many people were not aware, like those who haven't watched my tutorials, those who haven't attended my sessions. So they didn't never understood like what is this meaning. So for that reason, now you will get this message, alert message here, that this is a SVG element and it doesn't support standard XPath format. So upfront, you will be alerted and you will get this information that okay, there is something special and this is not going to work like a standard XPath format. So now with the curiosity, you will look at the XPath generated here, that okay, what is the different format of uh, XPath which this SVG element support. Because if you write SVG here, you see that, and if you press enter, you will see that this is invalid SVG XPath format. But upfront, if it will tell, that will be more useful. So now it will tell you upfront that this is SVG element. This feature is coming with 4.0.8, which is already live in Opera browser. So if you want to try, you can try it in Chrome browser. It will be available. This feature will be available in 1 2 days. Similarly, like for shadow DOM elements, when we used to inspect the shadow DOM elements, SelectorsHub used to show that this is shadow DOM element. Like here, it will show you that this is that element. Like if any element will be inside shadow DOM, it will show here. Like you inspect this, it used to show, but earlier this alert was not coming. So again, similar thing, like people ignore that, didn't read the information because it comes like normal color and everything. So for that reason, now I have added this alert message here, that this is inside shadow DOM, which can't be accessed through XPath. Use CSS selector for it. So now, at least now I'm sure that most of the people will read this and they will understand okay, this is something different and a special is there, something for this element, and we will have to take extra care, and people will read this message. Because just by this message, many people were not able to understand in the past that what does it mean. And until unless you will not write here XPath and you will press enter, you will not able to get to know that XPath doesn't support shadow DOM, or you haven't read this message. Though all the information were there, but yes, this is extra information upfront in a bold and colored, so that now you will immediately learn these concepts and you will not miss anything. Reason these concepts has been added here, because still 80% of our industry think that shadow DOM supports XPath. Though it's been almost more than 1 year for Selectors Hub, and I'm keep trying people to teach that XPath doesn't support shadow DOM, but almost in every poll which I used to do, 80%, more than 80% people say yes, XPath supports shadow DOM, and people are not aware about this concept. So this will, I'm sure, like this feature will help people to learn those concepts. Similarly, for iframe, it was telling that element is inside iframe, but it used to tell here. But what if like it start coming here? Then this will add more value. Like you will understand, okay, this is something spatial there. So it will tell you that this element is inside iframe. Switch inside iframe to access this element through automation. So this is the extra helpful knowledge and information which will help people to learn as well as to save more time, and you will not going to make any mistake. You will get to know everything upfront. So this will basically, these all things will reduce a lot of time waste and effort which we used to waste while getting the exception by executing our script. Now you will know all the information upfront. Any questions, guys? Any suggestions so far? Great. Great. If you have any doubt, any question, feel free to ask me. And also, let me just share the registration link for the training. So if anybody wants, directly you can register here. Okay. There is one more problem was there from a long time, and people were asking for this feature as well. Like you know that in most of the website, generally like in our application which we test in our real-time project, there we used to have that spin loader, and it becomes really hard to inspect those spin loader because they immediately disappear. So how to can we inspect those elements, those kind of elements? So let me show you one example here. So you see this spin loader, now it's coming here, and I will, as soon as I will try to inspect this will disappear. And we have the debugger in our SelectorsHub. So of course that can do this, but let's see. So you, as you all know that like when you click on debugger, this debugger in SelectorsHub starts after 5 seconds. But by that time, this spin loader will disappear. And after clicking on this debugger, if you will refresh the page, then it will also not work. So can we start this debugger immediately as soon as the loader comes, spin loader comes? So yes, now that is possible. You can set the time. Like currently it is starting after 5 seconds. So can we start immediately after clicking on this? So yes, now that is possible. You can set the time as per your convenience. Like you can change that time. So click on here, click to customize UI, setting button here, and this you can change here. Like currently it is 5, by default it will be 5 seconds. You can set this to anything what you want. So let's say we want to start this debugger immediately after clicking on the debug button. So let's make it 0. Okay, and go back. Now I will refresh the page and let the loader come, and immediately I will click on debugger, and this will stop the debugger stop the loader here. Now it will not disappear. So now we can inspect this element debugger. You see it is already inspected. Let me inspect this loading button here. So you can see that this is the element, and we are able to inspect this, and everything is happening here. You can inspect this element, you can write the XPath for that, and everything you can do it here. So this is how you can interact with this kind of element, and you would be able to like write or generate the XPath. You see that this is, you will get the XPath as well here for this element generated, and we are able to inspect this kind of spin loader. So basically the feature is that now you would be able to set the debugger time, and you would be able to inspect these kind of dynamic elements as well, which will again is going to save a huge effort and time for you guys. And whatever time here you will set, that will be saved in local in SelectorsHub. So you will not have to save, like suppose you close SelectorsHub and you think that next time when I will open, will I have to set it again? No, that will saved in local. So next time whenever you will open SelectorsHub, your settings are saved. Here you see that 0. If you want to change, you can update it like 1 or 2, anything you want, or you want to make it to default, you can make it to default. So this is going to really help you guys a lot and save a lot of time. So this is all the new features which are coming in SelectorsHub. Definitely they will help you guys a lot and will save a lot of time. And I will request all of you, if you want to learn really all these concepts about XPath, selectors, do join this training. This will really help you guys a lot to become an expert in automation, because we all learn the basic concepts. We start writing the automation script, but in real time, in real industry, there are different challenges actually. So this training is for all those people, those who are working in automation, those who have learned some from some training about Selenium or any kind of automation framework. So this training will help you a lot to gain the knowledge about DOM, selectors, and web elements, XPath, selectors of test case studio, and a lot more things you will learn from this training. There's a special training which is designed by me, and there is nothing like there was no training like this was designed in the past. And the main purpose of this training is to teach everyone about these concepts and to raise some fund for Selectors Hub and Test Case Studio. Whatever fund will be coming for from these trainings, that will directly go in the development and uh, growing the community, Selectors Hub and Test Case Studio, and help you guys. So this is all for the community, and this is all for you guys. Please let more people know about this training program. This will really help people, and also let people know about Selectors Hub, because many people is still not aware about Selectors Hub, and they are still wasting a lot of time by struggling by writing XPath selectors and by learning different kinds of web elements, etc. So this will help people to learn as well as to save time. If you guys have any question, any suggestion, feel free to add here. Any questions, guys? And this debugger feature as well as the SVG shadow DOM, this will coming in 4.0.8, and the first alert message for the exception in non-interactable, that is already live, so you can check it out. Today's morning session was very helpful. Looking forward for the rest of the session. Thank you, Krishnamurti, for this feedback. I'm so glad to hear that. And definitely, like today was the fundamental, the start. A lot more good concepts coming in tomorrow's lecture and upcoming lectures. Okay, so looks like no questions. Any suggestion, guys? Any feedback? Any questions? Feel free to ask. Or if no more questions, we can end the session for today. And we'll keep adding more feature. We'll keep supporting community, and we'll keep help you guys to learn more things to write these stable automation scripts. And if you find these things are selectors of test case studio are helping you guys, please make a please consider a small donation here. You can click on this donate button, and you can make a small donation. This will really help a lot Selectors Hub to grow and help you guys on day by day. Also, you can take this certificate program if you feel that you have good knowledge on selectors, XPath, etc. Do take this certificate program from here. There's a very insightful quiz it has. And you will trust me, you will learn a lot of good concepts and misconception by taking this 5-10 minutes quiz it is. And if you will score more than 75%, you will get the certificate, and this is absolutely free certification program. So do take this one, guys, and you can get the link here on Selectors website. Once again, just let me show you guys quickly that what are the new features which are coming in Selectors Hub, and then we'll end the session for today. So the features which are coming in Selectors Hub now, which is almost like already live, this feature, that now when you will inspect any element, if that element will be non-interactable through Selenium or automation, then Selectors Hub will tell you upfront that don't use this element. This is non-interactable element. Like this element is not visible in the UI. So if you will inspect this element, though XPath is there for this element, but this will not work in Selenium. You can't interact this element with Selenium. So this will tell you upfront that this element is not interactable through Selenium automation, as it is not visible in UI. Try any nearby element. So this will tell you upfront. And if you want to understand more about this, like what is the region and all those things in deep, you can join the training. Also, like you can just watch this live session from the beginning, you will understand. Also, like you just keep clicking here in the DOM node, you will learn all those concepts about these things. SelectorsHub automatically will tell you that which element is interactable, which is not interactable, what is the region, like this is SVG element, what it supports, what it doesn't support. All those things it will tell you. If this is a comment, it will also tell you that this is comment here. If any element is inside iframe, it will tell you that this element is inside iframe. If element will be inside shadow dom, it will give you the proper message. Now earlier it used to show you in the small box that in shadow dom, but now it will add the alert message here that this element is inside shadow dom, which can't be accessed through XPath. So lot more information upfront it will give you, so that you will not miss anything. And now you can inspect these kind of spin loader as well through selectors hub. Like because you would be able to set the debugger time. So here under debugger you can set any time, like let's say 0, and you make that loader appear here, and click on the debugger button, and it will stop it. It will stop here, this is spin loader, and it will not disappear now. And you can inspect, you can write the locator for this element, you can do whatever you want to do with this one. So everything you would be able to do with selector sub now. So I hope this is all going to very helpful for you guys. And if you want to learn more about these concepts, about this dynamic web element, etc., please join the selectors of training here. This will really help you guys a lot to learn all these concepts in detail, in deep. So I hope everyone is good with this. And if you have any question, I will hold for another 1 minute, and then we can end the session for today. If you have any question, any feedback, suggestion, feel free to ask, put it in the chat section. Great. So looks like we don't have any more questions, and we all are good. So thank you so much, guys, for joining, and have a good night. Have a good day. Bye bye. See you all soon. Bye.